Twitch. Multi-streaming. It turns out I had been paying for Restream to do the multi-stream thing, and it just turns out you can just do that as a part of like Streamlabs. So like this whole time that I've been paying a bunch of cash to do all that, I've just been, you know, throwing gas on the fire and whatnot. Dude, what the ever-loving fuck happened? I was gone for like 2 weeks to figure some shit out, and I got other big announcements and everything like that, and all this cool shit. If you guys didn't see the Shadowdark announcement over on Kickstarter, I'll be writing a soundtrack for that. We'll be doing music streams here, so be ready for that, because, wait, no sound? What? How? What? Okay, can you check? What? There's no sound? You got sound. Hey, what's up, Nagobi? You have sound. Oh wait, I've got background music on. Never mind, I can't fuck with you there. Okay, what's going on, everyone? Yeah, check your tab mute. Yeah, everybody, like, yeah. Can we do like ASL real quick? Okay. So a couple things. It's been crazy. Yeah. So we're doing the Shadowdark soundtrack, which is gonna be sick. I've got. Can I get some? Oh wait, that's turned off right now. Anyways, I got the pianos and everything set up over here. I've got a fun pad coming in sometime tomorrow, and we'll get all that stuff set up. We'll actually be, whenever I say that we're going to be pivoting away from doing like just covering D&D shit, we're going to make some other fantasy adjacent stuff, you know. That's going to be fun. Best start vibes are good streams. Hell yeah. Now, the other side of that, I just had compounding issue after compounding issue preventing me from like doing video content and all this other shit. Right now, and it's not making an excuse, I did get bit by a fairly poisonous spider, which I'm doing good with. You know, I thought I had a lot more interesting shit to say other than that, but honestly that might kind of be it. So oh man, we're injury buddies. Maybe it's time to review the JoJo. Wait, there's a JoJo TTRPG? JoJo's Bizarre. Shut up. Really? Who made it? Oh, wait, this is just like a Google Doc thing. You were at the hospital today from a nail in the foot? Fuck around! You got your tetanus shot, right? There's 3 JoJo TTRPGs? Are you talking about like fan TTRPGs or actually published? Because, like, there's a lot of... Yeah. How's it going, Rascal? Now. No fan work, gotcha. You have to go to Texas Roadhouse for steaks and more. Hell yeah. Okay. So, everything seems to be pretty good, as far as the health stuff goes, because yada yada yada. It seems, though, that, like, for me to get bit by a brown recluse, and, like, maybe it's just because I've been, like, working out a lot and actually, like, you know, taking care of myself for, you know, once, this didn't seem to react all that bad at all. And I've heard some people say it might have been a wolf spider, but, like, it started reacting a lot like a brown recluse, and, like, I live in Oklahoma, so, like, it makes sense, but so does wolf spider? I don't know, something like that, right? It's been getting worse over the past few days, and you could check you to the hospital. Just saying, though, you can't tell me Margs are not just healing potion. I mean, I guess kind of. I don't know. I'm kind of believing right now in the restorative power of like protein. So I got to get on that, like, you know, that gym head grind kind of a thing. Anyways, so This is not just kind of looking into the VTT situation. I do have some interesting little tidbits that I can kind of add to what like I've heard about the failure of the VTT. That hasn't really been public, at least as far as my knowledge goes. So this is just, it's like word around the campfire kind of shit, okay? So this might not be totally true. I don't think it affects really much of anybody for me to say the stuff that I've said, so I'm kind of like, yeah, there we go. As an alpha playtester, you can't believe they scrapped it. This is the thing, right? Did they scrap it? Did they scrap it? Is it scrapped? Like, here's... Okay, hang on. I'm kind of trying to figure this out, too, because it seems like people are a little bit kind of caught off guard with that. It started here, right? It started here over on LinkedIn from Andy Collins. And then Rascal basically confirmed everything from a leak. The Rascal article is pretty raw. Yeah, I want to see what else is going on. Because I also think that I have something else to add to this that I've heard of. So, today approximately 30 talented developers, 90% of the team was laid off from Sigil, the virtual tabletop team at Wizards of the Coast, including yours truly. I'm disappointed that we didn't get to continue working toward the full experience that we imagined, but happy for the happy for the opportunity to work. Oh, I did that stupid thing where like my brain reads a line ahead, and I don't. Anyways, opportunity to work on an intriguing challenge with many smart and dedicated folks. I wish my former colleagues success in their future endeavors. I'll be pulling the crew left behind to do the best to keep improving and iterating on what we shipped last month. Okay, iterating the experience we shipped last month. 3 people. 3 people? Didn't they spend like $2 billion on this? Okay, my understanding. Here's the way I kind of see it. Right. I think this is going to depend. Hey, what up, man? What up, Crow? I think this is going to depend on what you think, like where you think the money that got put into this, if that does or does not factor into this. Right. I heard, well, I say I heard, if you consider the purchase, like the acquisition of D&D Beyond as a part of this plan right here, and you want to factor that in, maybe not, right? If you don't factor that in, I think there's like $500 million right there. Because I think they bought D&D Beyond for like $500,000 or something like that. Might be wrong on that, whatever. But in that case, I would look at that as an investment that they had originally put toward making this VTT happen, right? I don't know. I don't know that it's a bill, but that's the figure I've kind of heard thrown around, right? If that's the case, I think this might be one of the most expensive flops in gaming history. Like, I have no fucking clue, man. It always sucks whenever people are losing money. When it's a corpo losing money, it's kind of like whatever, but I do hate the fact that the axe is going to fall on the necks of a bunch of like developers and not the dipshit C-suites like Chris Cox, who absolutely deserve to have their ass out on the streets. So, you know, fuck that guy. Everything I keep constantly hearing about shit at Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro, it's just like, this fucking dude. So, kind of going on from there, okay? Over here, this is the Rascal article. Wizards of the Coast shutters Sigil virtual tabletop project, lays off 30 staff. So, I asked Linda a little bit about this, and it seems as though this is actually an indication that the project is not developing anything beyond what they already have out, which is fucking bonkers, especially considering what I've heard. So right here in this, what we're essentially getting right up front is that Sigil virtual tabletop, yada yada yada, they sent out an email where they laid off 30 people, and a former Watson employee actually leaked the email out to Rascal over here, right? Here's the thing. Hasbro brought D&D Beyond for 146 million change. Sigil is a separate department from D&D Beyond. Right. Wait, okay. So I don't know where I'm hearing the funding, or okay. I just remember about 2 years ago, I heard figures more close to 500 mil. And if I'm wrong on that, I'm wrong on it. But I know that there was, okay, I heard there was a big purchase toward this in the 500 mil range. So if that's just wrong, that's just wrong, but that's just what I heard. So over here, this is talking about the LinkedIn post that we just read over there, right? It's kind of scrolling up over here. This is the email that they were sent. Dear team, I want to share an important update regarding Sigil. After several months of alpha testing, we concluded that our aspirations for Sigil as a larger standalone game with a distinct monetization path will not be realized. As such, we cannot maintain a large development effort, and most of the Sigil team will be separated from the company this week. We are, and I'm pretty sure that's Sigil, but I don't know, man. I don't have an excuse there. We are, however, proud of what I'm just going to keep saying it wrong to piss off people in chat for the engagement, you know? We are, however, proud of what the Sigil team has developed and want to make sure that fans and players on D&D Beyond can use it. To that end, we will transition Sigil from a D&D Beyond to a D&D Beyond feature, so it won't be its own standalone proprietary software, which is interesting. Well, I mean, it still could be, I guess. It's still, yeah. It's interesting that this is going to be running in a browser, but yeah. Sigil sounds like it makes no sense because Sigil is actually the easiest thing to monetize that D&D has ever made. Yeah, like, we all kind of knew from the get-go that this is going to be something that they wanted to turn into recurring microtransactions. We said it from day one. They're going to, like, you know, nickel and dime you for animated spells, right? For different, like, miniatures, things like that, you know. You're pronouncing it right? Oh, thanks, Priest Gordon. So we knew that, like, this was going to have a microtransaction structure. Now, as far as microtransactions go, look, I'm just kind of like, if you do it, you do it. I have fun in games where, like, I get a cosmetic and I feel like, hey, you know what? I paid for a cosmetic that doesn't have an effect on the game. I was a really, really big fan of Smite back, like, I don't know, 5-6 years ago. I definitely blew some money on cosmetics, but I will say Smite had a really big problem with some of the cosmetics were actually pay to win, because, like, they would come with their own different sound effects. And if you've ever played a MOBA, being able to hear what ability might be getting channeled right now is kind of a big deal. So, like, there were just some skins where, like, these sounds were either quieter or completely different, or they just didn't have the sound baked into it at all anymore. And yeah. Can you explain what Sigil is? You're kind of out of D&D news. Okay, so Sigil, whatever it is, this was a virtual tabletop that they were developing as a proprietary thing for Dungeons and Dragons. Okay, this was only going to run D&D. We asked, like, whenever I was at the Influencer Summit thing, like 2 years ago or whatever, we asked, or one of my questions I asked Kyle Brink specifically was, how do you expect this to compete with Roll20 and Foundry and all the other VTTs that are out there right now that are running multiple different game systems, and you all can only offer one? And they, like, couldn't fucking answer. They were like, well, so it always kind of seemed dead in the water to me. Like, dead in the water? Wait, that's not right. No. What the fuck? What? There's a euphemism there, or an idiom I'm thinking of. It's just not dead on arrival? Maybe it's dead on arrival. Maybe that's it. Fucking. All right. Here, let's actually zoom up on that, because I'm a bad streamer and I'm not considering nobody can actually read that shit. Yeah, is it dead on the water? Fucking people in glass houses sink ships and shit. All right. So this was supposed to be a 3D environment. Here, there's actually fish on the bayou. This will probably show it right here, I'm sure.
I saved you, and I'm here to save you again.
So many of us played Baldur's Gate 3.
What in the sweet hells were you thinking?
This is the opportunity for people to continue their adventures in this new way to play D&D.
We have this 3D sandbox where you can bring your friends and play D&D with all of these cool 3D environment pieces and miniatures that come with the product. You can start experiencing a role-playing game, but in a more digital-friendly format.
You go take those characters, Asterion and Karlak, you get to play with them and just tell your own tale.
Where people who may be used to video games actually get to see the thing that you're talking about instead of just trying to imagine it.
And it's not...
Okay, that was... Actually, that was the guy I remember from the Influencer Summit who was talking to all of us about the VTT. Now, the idea here was supposed to be that this is going to be like... This is supposed to be a VTT that gives you the 3D environment and essentially allows you to get a Baldur's Gate-like experience with your own stories, okay? Now, here's the deal, okay? Not a lot of people were really asking for this. This kind of further goes into the idea that, like, this is probably only going to be useful for combat. One of the other things that I know for sure is, like, okay, I guess now that the project is essentially getting canned, I can kind of talk about some of the things that I've heard about this. I heard that, and this is a Taron heard this, okay? I heard that they were having a lot of problems getting the VTT to run out of anything that wasn't like out of the developer architecture, okay? So, like, in the software for Unreal or whatever they're developing in, I heard that they were having an extremely hard time optimizing it to run outside of the Unreal environment. And that in ways they were trying to, like, keep that in control was that the demos were all kind of, like, going into a LAN or something. And there was, like, a main, like, really hardcore computer that was actually doing all the graphic rendering for all these other PCs or something like that. I don't know for sure. I didn't actually get to see the way that they had it set up for Gen Con last year. Wasn't able to go. But I've been hearing that because from day one, whenever we saw that they were playtesting this, or that they were kind of showing it off in trailers, remember that first trailer where it was like Mackenzie Diarmas and a couple other people that were like playing on laptops? Those of you that have been around for a second, do you remember whenever we went on stream and looked at what exactly those laptops were that they were playing that on? And we found out that they were like $5,000, $6,000 Alienwares. Like, so my understanding is they were having a horrible fucking time making it to where Sigil just didn't absolutely fucking eat up all your memory on your PC. That this was horribly optimized, and it was just, they had no projections as to when this project was ever going to end, right? It was really graphic intensive, yeah. For the standard player, okay, I'm sure if I actually got a hold of the software, I could run it on my rig, okay? But I built this rig right here to do streaming, to do video editing, to do a lot of layout work, right? Like, I'm a graphic designer. I built this for that. I also built it as a music studio. That was required, right? Now, I might be able to run it. However, Joe Schmo with the like $1,000 laptop he's going, doing college work with, this is not really practical. Those are insane computer requirements for a type of game that is so famously really easy to jump into. Yeah, right? Your laptop struggles with OBS. There's no way I would have managed to run anything like... Yeah, you're being a lot less cautious about the information you have on this situation. I just... My thing is, a lot of it is like, I don't know what's campfire talk, right? I know that there's a lot of people who are very, very pissed at Wizards of the Coast right now, who, especially after having just gotten like laid off or something like that, most likely they're down to like spread some word about like how bad this is, whatever. I would just say this: most of the stuff that I hear, just consider it campfire talk. All right, bunch of people like venting about the industry or whatever. Okay, until you see something like published by Rascal or like maybe EN World, take it as that. Okay, take it as this is just what we're hearing. Okay, not confirmed or anything like that. So this VTT, from day one, that I was just seeing like, oh wait, you have a 5K liquid cooling Alienware. Even she has asthma breakdown when you run Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah, and this is the thing, right? Like with Baldur's Gate 3, the only assets they really have to load in at any one time are going to be whatever is set up for that environment in the scene, right? Whatever the draw distance is or whatever. Sigil, you don't really get that luxury, okay? The environment that's there that you are building and setting up, if you want to build out an entire dungeon, okay. If you are, let's say somebody is, I don't know, 10 rooms back, like their body is 10 rooms back or something like that. Well, it's still rendering for that person, or maybe they're casting like Arcane Eye, or maybe they're sending their familiar, right? Well, if they're going to be like, we're going to stay in this room over here, I'm sending my familiar out like further off into the dungeon to go and do this, right? As a result, you still have to have the characters over here, and then this familiar whatever is going out, spying out over here, right? Wait, Sigil do an old school Pokemon optimization? Wait, what? Wait, what? So it was tabletop simulator with Forge effects. Yeah, basically, right? So if you're having to render all this stuff at the same time, right? It's different with a video game because you can do the magician's sleight of hand and keep some stuff like off screen. You don't have to render it or what the hell ever, right? It doesn't seem like it's going to always have that luxury over here. It's really easy over in like Roll20 because it's all 2D, or isometric now, which is super cool. But I've even noticed that Roll20 can chug. A lot of this has to do with like map sizes, tokens, all that other stuff. I have noticed whenever I was running like Tomb of Annihilation, for whatever reason, that module lags on any computer that I run, which is sad because like Tomb of Annihilation actually kind of slaps, Pokemon optimization up to like X and Y had their lead designer insisted on something dumb that I iconically fought optimism. Oh wait! I heard about this. Was this about whenever they were saying that they had to keep removing Pokemon from the game because it was just like impossible to get the game out with that number of Pokemon or something? I thought this was around Sun and Moon, if I remember right. Throw a couple high-end mass, Fog of War, play for more than 2 hours on R20, you can grilled cheese on your PC's GPU. Yeah. So like, we all kind of knew from like seeing it, right? We knew from seeing the demos of like people playing it on Alienwares. We kept asking, like, guys, I'm not kidding you. We asked at the summit, what are the recommended specs for the VTT? And they could not give us an answer. And it was like, okay, well, look, we understand it's in development, so we'll give you some slack. Okay. Gen Con 2024, I think it was this last year. What I knew that I had a couple of friends that were going to be talking with some Wizards of the Coast employees. Your boy is apparently blacklisted from talking to Wizards of the Coast. So I fill in your I don't know, let your imaginations work there. But one of the questions I was very, very adamant on, I was like, this is the most important thing that you can ask Wizards of the Coast right now about this VTT. What are the system requirements? If you all still do not have that established and you're still making announcements for this game, y'all got to stop. Y'all got to figure out what the fuck it's going to take to run this thing. Time and time again, it seemed like they were just never going to be able to get this thing out because they couldn't figure out what the fuck they wanted to run it on. Straight up. It was just like, well, people are going to have these... This is kind of like a you all have phones, right moment. Like, do you all really expect that everybody's going to be able to run this on... Or, like, everybody's going to be able to afford the Alienware laptops that you guys were apparently running this on? And, like, the thing I heard... And again, this is we're talking campfire talk kind of thing, right? The thing I heard was that those Alienware laptops were not actually running the VTT. They were set up on a LAN, and there was a separate computer rendering that and sending the image over to the PCs, over to the laptops, right? If that's the case, and it was still requiring these Alienwares to like even see what the fuck was going on, what the fuck? It didn't help that that in-house they don't exactly have a track record of creating successful VTTs. We've done this before with 4th edition. Yeah. Wait, instead of having one file it pulls from wait. Back in the day, Pokemon kept all their files so many times it was hilarious. For every city you saw Pokemon in, they had a new file over and over again. Wait, instead of having one file it pulls from, that's how they did it since the beginning. It just finally caught in Sun and Moon since they've been doing it. What the fuck? You never saw the game running on the laptops themselves. It was shots from a screen that you thought was one of the laptops. You never saw an over-the-shoulder shots of it running. All right, Mage, you've got me like we're going on a little tinfoil hat rabbit hole here. Okay, what was this D&D Beyond? All right. It's not Project Sigil. Yes. Okay. It was a virtual tabletop first look.
Hey, how's it going?
How's it going?
This is amazing.
You guys ready to play some D&D?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
So we've got 4 really cool characters here. Is anyone thinking about anything specifically as you're looking at these?
I'm thinking Dorbin. I like his beard and I want to be a bearded man.
They covered up the Alienware logo with the fucking D&D stickers.
And today.
Oh, okay.
Nice. All right, so you can...
See, I'm not familiar with these laptops. I don't know what else going in. I was kind of looking for like maybe an HDMI plugged in or something like that.
Are you having fun dragging him around?
Oh yeah, it's a blast.
I've actually had the sorcerer I've been wanting
No, that's just a power
to
cable
play
right there on the left.
forever. Is there a way I can just port it in?
Yeah, is it on D&D Beyond?
Yep.
Okay, sweet. There we go, all linked up and ready to go.
Woo, huzzah!
There's a lot of ways to play D&D online.
Wait, they just showed the same screen on 3 of their, right? So like, is this the same? Or wait, I thought it was one of these. Like really familiar.
Forever. Is there a way I can just
Purple,
port it in?
teal?
Yeah, is it on D&D
Okay, no,
Beyond?
that's...
Okay, sweet. There we go,
It is a different
all linked
view.
up and
Okay.
ready to go.
Woo, huzzah!
There's a lot of ways.
Are we doing conspiracy theories? I mean, look, dude, like we're already deep in this rabbit hole. Wizards of the Coast ain't fucking talking to anybody apparently, and some bullshit's dropping out about a multi-million-dollar project that is apparently getting completely fucking overturned tabled, right? Like I'm like wondering what the fuck is going on. That's basically the whole reason I hopped on screen, dude. They look like shots at still shots on laptop screens. They may or may not be a tinfoil hat under your pointy hat. Oh, okay.
To play D&D online,
It's how they
and
launder the
not
Pinkerton
all of
money.
them are hitting the big 3.
Can you mention the name of the company, Taron? AJ, if you're feeling confident about that, absolutely. If you're feeling confident about that, you go for it. I heard about that from you, so that's. I guess would you want to come on stream and say that, or are you able to just like doing that in chat? It could also be just be pop under your hat as well. It's insane they're canning this in Q1 in chat. Okay, cool. Like this isn't a good time for something for a text right now. Yeah, right. So hang on. Now see, okay, this is hardwired in. That's not the power supply, right? No, because all the other ones are plugged in like this. Yeah, this is plugged in. What is that?
Warm, I was standing real close to the fireplace. You have good wood.
Everybody make a dex save.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So that's under your dexterity. It'll be the top up there. It'll be dexterity saving throw.
Ooh, solid 9.
So now you roll 2 dice.
Oh, that's so cool. Okay.
Well, let's see how cool it is after you roll.
We're in Unreal 5, which is latest, greatest. But now we're actually testing with friends of people who work at Wizards and their families. It's got spells, it's got effects, it's got a lot more rules in it. So those sort of things are what we've been adding.
I will go over to.
So look up. Okay, so look up Resolution Games and their Demio game engine. It will make perfect sense for what Hasbro is intending to do. Wait, bro, needing not just an Alienware, but liquid coolant everywhere. This stuff is still not a good thing. Wait, these are... Wait, these laptops are liquid cooled? Hang on. You said Demio? So you just want me to show that on... Because I saw what you sent me, AJ, but, Resolution Games. Okay. This does look crazy close. Like, this looks scary close to what they were trying to do. Yeah. So, if AJ, if you want to expand on kind of what your thoughts were on that, I don't know. It does feel like this is pretty close to just like maybe a tabletop simulator type of thing. Here, let me get. Can I get a better resolution on that? Okay. Can they run Crisis Situation? It's funny. You're the second person to say that about this. That I've spoken with. Anyways,
compelled by fate, he summoned the old fellowship.
Alright, boys, what's the plan of attack here?
We gotta get the key and then we gotta go to the exit.
Alright, I'm gonna try to take out this little spider looking thing.
Guys, this doesn't just look like Sigil. This looks better. Because you'll see the miniatures are animated.
Hey, John, take him out!
Where are we going? We going
Look
here?
at that.
Ooh, a chest.
You see how, like, the minis that were in the D&D VTT were just kind of like, I cast a spell! These guys actually have, like, animated sword attacks.
Oh, we got a card. Ooh, nice.
The environments look better in Sigil. And I guess it all depends on your kind of thought on that, right? Me, personally, I prefer a bit more of the cartoony aesthetic. Like, if you want the very, very hyper-realistic looking environments and everything, sure, maybe that's the case, right? But, like, honestly, if Sigil's just not even going to fucking work, doesn't even really matter. This is going to be your only your offer, right? Animation rigs are expensive, Taron. Hasbro doesn't have that kind of cash. Oh, that's good shit. Small indie company couldn't afford the animations.
Save you?
It's a card. You got a card?
Okay, hang on, I got this.
This looks sick. Hasbro, but does Hasbro have the cash to rent them for 8 hours or so? That's a better question. Wait, the oh, you mean the what, the devs? Tailspire does the thingy too, and it's system neutral, just animations and dice. I like Tailspire. It seems like they're incredibly slow to update it. Yeah, I own it. I own it. It's cool. It seems so fucking slow to update. All right. AJ said, so I got an email from Resolution Games with the usual first look gag order until we announce the partnership deal. And I said, no, if you want me to promote the game, you can pay me. I never expected that they would lay off the Sigil staff. So that, hang on, let me see here. Just making sure. Okay. So your thoughts leading into all of that and how it pertains to Demio, right? And it's always a thing. Anytime I have someone dropping info in chat, I'm always like, okay, well, how do I pass the time until we hear this next bit of like tantalizing shit, right? Oh man. Why are you playing Arena? What? Riot Games owned Hasbro? Wait, what? You didn't realize Riot Games owned what? You're fucking with me, I think. You can talk about how stupid the NDA was for testers on Sigil. I haven't seen I haven't seen that stuff. I haven't. I am currently, like, just so you guys know, my brain has been so preoccupied with the Vagabond Kickstarter, which, like, hey, we're a little bit over $2,000 away from completely knocking out any of the worries that we had about tariffs, and we get a full run of 1,000 books instead of 500. I'm actually getting the dice in on Friday. I found out, like, I got the notification on my phone. I've got 500 cents of fucking dice showing up on my doorstep on Friday. So, go over, help me not completely fucking lose money on making this shit. But yeah. Where did that go? Where did that go? Oh, hey, what up, Blanco? Pull up cat videos. You couldn't even screen share in a private Discord call. You couldn't risk it because you had to link your D&D Beyond account. What? You have your own RPG to produce. You're not a D&D drama channel, but this is fairly obviously Hasbro's plan all along. Sigil was a smokescreen. Well, okay, so here's my thing, right? I've never really considered what, like, talking about what Hasbro's doing to be drama, right? I think that that's a way that some people try to, like, embarrass you into not talking about scandal is what's going on, right? This was announced to be something massive. Like, this was going to be the thing they were going all in on. We thought that they had literally redesigned 5th edition in order to, like, make it easier for VTT, apparently. And now look at where we are, right? They went all in on this thing. And now it appears to be they have fumbled the most massive fucking ball maybe in gaming history. I don't know. Like, we'll see what happens with it. If it's like a proprietary tool or whatever. Look, here's my deal. I feel horrible for the employees at Wizards of the Coast because I don't think there was much shit they could have done about this. I think that a lot of this sounds like it was C-suite overlords trying to pressure them into making a thing faster. And what I would recommend right now is because I saw Alpha, one of the guys from Alpha Investments was actually, like, following me on Twitter whenever I had that one. If you're a shareholder of Hasbro stock, are you cool with this company pissing away money like that? I mean, are you down with this? Like, because if you're a shareholder, this is something that they clearly invested a shitload of cash into, and does not look like it's about to turn any fucking profit. Yeah. Hey, what up, Evan? How's it going, man? Taco's coming back to the next D&D adventure book, more in D. I'm still kind of catching up on this, but let's get back over here real quick. As such, we cannot maintain a large development effort, and most of the Sigil team will be separated from the company this week. We are, however, proud of what the Sigil team has developed, and want to make sure that fans and players on D&D Beyond can use it. To that end, we will transition Sigil to a D&D Beyond feature. We will maintain a small team to sustain Sigil, and release products already developed at no additional cost to users, other than to pay the master tier thing, right? We'll release products already developed at no additional cost to users? So, master tier is going to get this environment designer, basically, is what they're getting. Right? Big difference between actual news and other stuff. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, here's the deal. Whenever we say that some stuff is like Dungeons and Dragons drama, if it's like, look, this influencer over here went and, I don't know, posted a picture with a really ugly dog and you're really mad at them for that. I'm like, look, that's stupid. If I was like beefing with Sam Riegel on Blue Sky and someone was making content like that, like some Blow Blacks or whatever fucking drama stream thing, look, that's stupid drama, okay? This is scandal. This is not... This is a bit more above high school bullshit here. This is 30 people just lost their fucking jobs, and there was a multi-million-dollar project that is just like, who fucking knows, dude? Like, they've been hyping this up for like what, 3 or 4 years now. Okay, like this is not drama. This is industry shaking. Okay, so us talking about it. If you're mad because, you know, I'm out here kind of laughing at the fact that, like, the big monopoly on the whole tabletop hobby is kind of in its death throes right now. If you're mad at that because you really like Dungeons and Dragons, you should probably go watch a different fucking channel, all right? I'm not here to hate on D&D. I loved playing D&D. I still make a shitload of my money from D&D, okay? I prefer to play and, like, run other shit. In fact, I'm actually playing in a game of Dungeons and Dragons 2024 here in a couple days, okay, with some YouTubers, all right? I would rather it not be the only game that seems to draw anyone into an interest into this hobby, because there's a lot of other really fucking cool games out there. But yeah, what I would say is, like, yeah, I love D&D. Hasbro's not D&D. Yeah, there we go, right? Yeah, it's me, Nagobi, Val, and a couple other peeps. I don't want to say too much. I don't want to say too much there, but yeah. But no, like, for me, I definitely have my preference for other games, right? If D&D was in a cool spot, I would be playing some D&D. Not really enjoying it, you know. You gotta get to bed. Remember to taste every dice when they come. Later, Blake. Oh man, have a good night. Like, I would love for I really, really love whenever this hobby feels really cool, and I'm excited to make shit for it. Wizards of the Coast has made this hobby not feel very fun for a minute. I'm going to say this, not Wizards of the Coast. Let me go further here. Hasbro has made writing for D&D or talking about D&D feel like a fucking headache and a half, you know. You love D&D, it's your absolute lifeblood. Can't imagine your life without it. However, I think when you really love something, you really see its flaws and be honest about it. Let's not idolize being infatuated with the game. Yep, exactly, right? Personally, for me right now, like, of course, I wrote Vagabond, right? I do prefer a bit more of the OSR style of play, because I tend to think that D&D really makes players try to play their character sheet and not play the game, if that makes sense. I think if I was trying to, like, say what game I would like to run that wasn't my own game, I mean, I've got this right here, right? So, if I hadn't written my own game and I wasn't writing content for my own game, well, I mean, it really is I'm writing content for my own game and Shadowdark, which, shit, we got a soundtrack to make. I still can't believe that. That's part of the reason, like, on top of everything else, I was like, I can't stream. I'm like too stoked about this. I was like, I can't say shit. Mythic Bastionland is out. I saw my digital downloads the other day. Yeah. It's a lot of work, but you owe. You homebrew stuff. Kingdom comes to your players don't feel that way at all. It's a lot of work, but I'm so familiar with it's second nature for you. I would love to run you a game of something that was a closer basic expert derivative, and just kind of like, just so you can sort of feel the change in philosophy there, you know. Because I personally think OSR style play is just way more freeing for what you can do, and it's just, you're gonna feel it's like not quite as rigid. But we'll talk about that sometime. Yeah, you played others by all means. Oh, okay. You just played a game with your bro with a map and dice he dropped a few days ago. Go so hard. Well, hell yeah. Okay, so Sigil is now becoming a D&D Beyond feature. So they intend for it to run in browser? Okay. Or is D&D Beyond going to get its own proprietary app? Like an application you have to download and install? I mean, look, I am not the most tech savvy person that you're going to run into, okay? There are plenty of people that are in this hobby who know a shitload more about how reasonable this could be, okay? From what I've seen of Sigil, I don't think this could run in a browser. Hey, what up, Greg? Yeah, you have work to do. You said let time to viewers. Well, hey, AJ, thanks for stopping by, man. We appreciate you. I don't know that I would, here, let's get music back on. I don't know how confident I feel about this running as like in a browser. I even feel like I see Roll20 chug at times. And that's just basically PNGs on top of PNGs. If it was like its own dedicated proprietary software, that's one thing. One of the things, okay. One of the reasons they might be doing that is based off of what I kind of heard earlier, and that's that they've been having trouble getting it to run outside of the software they're building it in. Like outside of in the Unreal Engine tool, like software itself, right? Does that make sense? There's no way it runs in browser. Something that looks like Sigil, plays like Sigil, could run in browser. However, I have no idea how they'll manage to do the map building in browser. Oh, gotcha. Developing a standalone app means you can't use browser infrastructure. Running it in browser is an impossibility unless it's cloud synced. Well, I mean, I think that's the intent, right? Like, it is supposed to all be cloud synced to, like, probably someone's, like, master account. I'm wondering, how expensive is this going to be? Data's not cheap. Like, Tailspire needs a dedicated app, and this is no Tailspire. No, yeah. But, like, also, I mean, the thing with that, Tailspire, I mean, I haven't really opened it in a while, so they might have updated it, but, like, the last time I had Tailspire open, it felt, like, kind of just devoid of much of anything. Foundry has its own app, and that's the 2D. Yes. Oh, yeah. No. Well, but wait, no. You can run Foundry in a browser. You can run Foundry in a browser. You don't have to have the app itself, right? The engine renders every single item individually, lighting it all as you're building it. Again, could be wrong. Yeah. So we'll see. Again, the thing that is mind-blowing to me is that we still have not received recommended system specs for this. Or no, wait. Hey, go on, Milia. What do you want? We did. We got system specs for this. Hang on. Yeah. No. Yeah. I remembered somebody actually said that we did in another Discord. Yeah, Bifey, can you send those to me on Discord? In the cache hang. Cache hang? What the fuck is cache hang? Wait, what? Is there another cool club I'm not in? Sorry, I'm also trying to watch out. What is, Thank you, Bifey. System requirements. Windows 10 16-bit, May 2020 update, version 2004. Video card, NVIDIA GTX. Okay, hang on. Let's see here. We're gonna go on a little shopping spree. I think it's shopping spree. Shopping, we're window shopping here, okay? NVIDIA GTX 960. Well, you don't need a 1060, I guess. What's this dropping for? Okay, 300 bucks. You can get it used. Okay, it's on eBay for 50, I guess. All right. What else we got? AMD R9. R9 380. $400 graphics card. Newegg has it for $450. And they're easier to read. Thank you, Bifey. Yeah, and I can just copy search that shit. Okay. Everybody say thank you to Bifey for shooting this over. Alright, so NVIDIA GTX 960, AMD R9, okay, Intel GPU. Okay, I was curious about... Wait, I don't remember if shopping is going to dox me. Alright, cool, we flipped that coin and I think we got heads. Okay. It just says UHD. GPU. Okay, hey, what up, Ked? Yeah, we're trying to see what they're trying to recommend. I don't see a graphics card in here that seems to be peaking over like $500. So like, but this is still, we're talking about a build that's going to require 8 gigabytes of RAM? Okay, so this is just the minimum. Okay, oh wait, here we go. DX12 GPU, alright. Pretty much every GPU's like gone over to DX12, right? Yeah, that's minimum. Yeah. No. Totally got. Yeah. Here's the recommended. Solid state drive. Everyone, look. If you haven't moved over to a solid state, you just need to immediately. This is like if you've been running on a hard drive. The most noticeable change that you'll see in your load times for your PC is going to be if you switch over to a solid state. Yeah. At least 16 gigabytes of RAM. Okay. That's fairly low for the minimum, even recommended. That's way less than most video games. But here's the thing. I've still heard that they're, like... I've still heard they're having trouble running it on any computer. Like, outside of their developer environment. Like, this might be the stuff that's recommended. At least I heard as recently as yesterday. From people who worked at Wizards of the Coast. That they were having trouble running it outside of the developer environment. Like, they're having issues with it running on any computer. Now, again, like I said, word around the fire, right? That's all that is. But, if they're abandoning it right now, that's wild. That still leagues more than most VTTs, which only need potato computers to run. I mean, most of the game should just be in our imagination. Yes, I feel like this is the kind of thing where they're trying to upsell you on a luxury experience that not many people even fucking want. If I'm gonna be real here. Like, some people might, you know, like, yeah, and sure, it'll be there for them. Do we think that that group is enough people to really sustain this kind of an investment? I don't see it. They overestimate how hard shipping software would be, and a multi-platform 3D customizable game engine with cloud stuff. Well, so like they did Dark Alliance. Yeah, I mean, whether or not it was good is up to you, but they did do Dark Alliance. The main thing for me, more RPG gentrification, more per diems, higher standards for players, more money too. Oh, you mean like, wait, RPG gentrification? Boy, someone with a sociology degree got in on RPGs, huh? All right, so I think we can just straight up say they're trying to upsell you on some luxury bullshit here, right? If they're trying to make it seem like this is the expectation for like how, I guess, how do I put it? If they're trying to Matt Mercer effect you guys, right? Thinking like, hey, unless you're playing like this, you're not playing real D&D. Most people are just gonna go tell them to go fuck themselves. Like, it's who the fuck cares, right? To me, what's incredibly interesting is that Chris Cox even still has a fucking job at this point. I would think if you have a C-suite that is fucking around this hard, continuing to get your company in trouble time after time after time again, some shareholders would probably be a little bit pissed. A little bit. Let me see here. The rest of this article. We will maintain a small team to sustain Sigil. 3 people. 3 people, we've heard, are what they kept. And release products already developed at no additional cost to users. To those moving on as a result of this decision, we will provide robust support, including severance packages, 2024 bonus, career placement services, and internal opportunities where possible. I want to take a moment to praise the entire Sigil team for their incredible work to deliver this product to our community. One of the things I'm most proud of here at D&D is our strong sense of purpose. We aim to honor our current players while ensuring D&D continues to build connections and bring joy to future generations. Alright, so cool. Rascal contacted Wizards of the Coast for comment, but did not receive a reply prior to publication. Collins confirmed to Rascal that Dan Rawson, Senior Vice President of Dungeons & Dragons Hasbro Direct, sent the internal message and led the in-person layoff announcement. Alright. So that's official. That is confirmed. Spoke with one of the affected workers, wished to remain anonymous. They confirmed the text of the internal message. They said that the Sigil team was notified Monday. Yeah, I just realized I'm supposed to be. Whoop, there we go. There we go. They said that the Sigil team was notified Monday that all but 3 team members would be laid off. A manager facilitating the meeting claimed that the company may return to the project one day if enough interest was shown, but that it would currently exist as a perk for Master Tier subscribers to D&D Beyond. KTLO crew, it's not dead, just mostly dead, and there doesn't look to be a root crew to carry them around. Yeah, like, I mean, because it wasn't like a release version that we saw. It was like, there is a thing that exists, here you go, try it out, right? That's BS, this thing is done. Oh, you mean like Sigil is like kaput, you mean? Or like the product is done, just get it out there? You're impressed they realized more before release that the 3D VTT was something that was going to flop. They seemed totally oblivious for ages that this was a niche product for a niche audience. That's the thing, man. They really want... Wizards of the Coast, or I guess Hasbro, really seems to think that a majority of this community is a bunch of whales that will throw money at fucking anything. In all reality, the people who are like that are like maybe 1 out of every 40 to 50 D&D players, right? Like, I think if you have the guy who's like maybe a software engineer, making, you know, 70K plus a year, he is doesn't really have children, maybe he's got his own decent apartment, right? Maybe that's the kind of guy who would throw down the kind of cash to make this kind of a thing happen, right? We're also hitting, like, a little bit worried about recession hitting. I guess in case they're not aware, houses are fucking unaffordable. So I think, particularly in my generation, a lot of us millennials are kind of like, dude, I just want healthcare and a roof over my fucking head right now. What's this bullshit? Like, you know, to play devil's advocate for the project and for the devs, I was actually really impressed and thought it would succeed. I saw what they presented us, but the fact that there wasn't a whole lot of transparency around it always gave me a feeling of, I'm not expecting it to go anywhere. They wanted to dip into that Wormwood crew that almost no longer exists and drop coin on this and maintain everything on Sigil and pay their Master Tier full catalog on D&D Beyond. It would be dope as hell if it went to launch anywhere close to what they initially dropped. Yep. I'm not expecting this to really go anywhere. Like, here moving forward, I think they're going to slowly just kind of try to quietly close the door on it. At least at this point, the only money that's been wasted was Hasbro's.
Somebody!
Fuck you, Ken.
I really like that intro sound.
What's going on, man? It's just like, what the shit? Okay, you already know more about, like, software development. Well, at least about coding than I do. What are your thoughts, man?
I'm only just like catching up on this and like what all's going on today myself. I'm kind of busy. Like considering this is a newly launched thing, like the 3 people for maintenance, like that's not enough. It's obvious that they're chopping it or mothballing it or something. Like that's not enough to keep her going. So
right.
Like 3 people isn't even enough to like deal with the server maintenance. Never mind actually like developing the product further and bug testing. Like,
is 33?
33 people?
Yeah. I mean, that's apparently what the old team was.
That could be doable. Honestly, that could be doable. Depending on how much they were scaling it. If they had focused more on like the 2D environments and stuff, that's doable. Because I feel like they were going to scale back on the 3D once they realized that was like a nothing burger. Like people didn't actually want that.
That's my thing, man. Like if they were doing just like a 2D VTT, maybe it's the kind of thing that I'm like, I can get behind, right? But the deal is, I think that this is like further kind of like, is it endemic, symptomatic, whatever, of what D&D, particularly 5e, and what they kind of think it is. Whereas like I look at other games that still feel like they're more games, they're trying to sell you more of an experience on 5e in a way, where like this is supposed to be this incredibly cinematic and whatever thing where like you're basically directing a movie. And I can't help but feel like whenever I look at D&D's roots, I'm like, what happened to just playing a game though? Like, I mean,
that's the thing is I look at things like even like Tailspire or something like that. Like I've had people try to get me into like these 3D environment building stumps. I don't have the time for setting that type of stuff up these days. I just want to sit down. Maybe I've made like a cool little 2D map that took me like a half an hour to do. That's cool. That's fine. That's the most amount of like effort I'm willing to put in.
Yeah.
3D, like even if it's like pre-done like building blocks and models and stuff, that's no joke.
Yeah. Wall setting in Foundry is the nightmare of all time. Oh. TF2 wait, are you talking Team Fortress or Tail Foundry? Or
I don't know what TF2 is other than Team Fortress 2.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, what? Oh, TF2 servers. Also, gotcha.
Oh yeah. See, I also look at like what the Wizards only has one card they could play that would have made people use their VTT, and that's the integration with D&D Beyond and folding everything in together. Because what could they do that every other VTT hasn't covered in some way? Like, and people have already sunk cost into them.
Wait, like, I thought Roll20 had D&D Beyond integration. Does it not?
It's half-assed. It does. But it's half-assed.
Ish.
Yeah, like Sean says, ish.
Okay.
But I feel like they would have scaled that the hell back if they had their own. Well, but like you got things like Alchemy is super pretty. You've got the sheer powerhouse that is Foundry. Roll20 has like extreme ease of access. Plus, all of those handle multiple systems.
Yeah.
So, like, what are you gonna get out of like this walled garden situation?
Well, and I just want to show people something real quick. One of my favorite like big perks to Alchemy is straight up that like, hey, if you're a game designer like me, you can build your own game over in Alchemy with like extremely little experience with it. Join game.
Yeah. As much as I love Foundry for running in it, I've made Foundry now look like Alchemy.
Yeah.
Building a new system in it is a literal nightmare.
This is this is so cake.
Yeah.
You know, right now, like with Vagabond stuff, I have to pay developers to make stuff like this for me. You know, to do all the coding and whatever. For Alchemy, I can plug it in myself. And it's not hard. I think if you know Markdown, you know how to write in Alchemy. Whereas like in Roll20, it's, I think is Roll20 JavaScript or is it HTML CSS?
It's mostly just HTML and CSS. I think a little bit of Java. It's not as heavy on the needing of like the JavaScript and fancy coding that Foundry is. It's like much lighter than what Foundry needs. That extra step, unfortunately. If you want to make your own custom thing, there are custom system builders that are just literally drag and drop if you're willing to do that. Like they do have a setup for that, but it doesn't end up, it's not yours per se.
Yeah. How do you get this Alchemy version? I did support the Kickstarter thing. So Alchemy is actually doing their own version of this to make sure the integration is all like flawless. This is a build that I was doing just to get the game running in Foundry and to kind of show the guys at Alchemy what I wanted. So this is like the general look of everything for Vagabond. It doesn't have all the rules or anything like that in here yet. So that's going to be Alchemy is doing their own internal dev on that. That will probably come out later this year. Well, I say probably. It is planned to come out later this year. Yeah. Now, I also really like Alchemy, not just as like, I think it's a good little kit. The problem I have with Alchemy is that it still doesn't do dungeon crawls. It still does not give you the map, Fog of War, all that stuff yet. I love so much of how Alchemy looks.
There's a few things holding it back.
Yeah. They need to nail that
if
down.
You want to go with looks, I've made Foundry look like Alchemy. Like
I think Foundry can look incredible.
Exactly.
Yeah. My thing is though, like, what you have to learn, like, what JSON coding? What the fuck do you have to learn in order to like code or build shit in Foundry?
JavaScript, HTML, CSS.
Is it JavaScript?
Yeah. It's all Foundry. It's Foundry and Alchemy are a lot more similar than you'd think. Just Alchemy just doesn't have half the toys.
Gotcha. Yeah, I just need to spend like a week with somebody who's like a Foundry expert, just like running me through the fucking paces. Like, hey, how do I like make a new character sheet for this system I'm making? Oh, and then actually run me through the code. But can you do
I know you've asked me several times, but I'm half-assed at it at best. So
there's been more than a few people in the community who were like, "Hey, Foundry conversion, what are we talking about?" And I can just do one for you, and I'm like, well, shit. Yeah, I've been meaning to actually take a look at it. Can you do tokens at all? I got a silly little relative positioning based combat system. I need to do massive tokens across one screen. Yes, you can. It's still not great. I really like the idea, but yeah, you really want to like, but the 800 plus RAM that Alchemy consumes is just not, or is not for you. I never noticed Alchemy being that demanding.
Not compared to the others. I mean, Roll20, Foundry, and Alchemy are all pretty similar. I mean, they're just fancy websites. You go with like Albert Rodeo or something, then yeah, it's going to run on like a calculator. But the other ones,
Albert Rodeo run bad?
No, it'll run on like nothing. Like you'd run it on your like fridge interface if you had a fancy fridge. Probably it's like super light.
Yeah. Alchemy does have some very basic 2D maps, like the level of unmodded Albert Rodeo. What it really is there for is setting a vibe for a scene and containing notes/description for the GM side. Yeah, like, my favorite way to use Alchemy isn't for, like, dungeon crawlers. It's for games like Vaesen. Like, this is a scene-to-scene kind of a thing that we can transition with a creepy background piece, music, and all that stuff. It's primo at that. It is so cool for that kind of a dashboard. You're almost like, as a game master, you kind of feel like you're pulling the curtain on like this new scene. It's really, really sick. But it is not good for dungeon crawlers, at least in my experience. And I don't really know how anyone's really playing 5e on it, because it feels, unless they're doing complete theater of the mind, it just feels like the tactical maps aren't there yet, and they kind of haven't been there ever since they released it. But that all being said, I really like what Alchemy's doing, and I think that they're on the verge of something super dope. Although I will say, Roll20 getting the dungeon scroll integration was one of the best moves. Whoever planned that out at Roll20 absolutely deserves a fucking raise. That was so smart. Build your map in the same software in which you're playing in, and you can change it on the fly. It's
it's nice to see Roll20 finally catching up to like the other VTTs that already do that.
Yeah, well, I mean, for sure, but I mean, I think like pretty much everyone's familiar with Dungeon Scroll. But I mean, so Foundry can do that, I'm assuming.
Yeah, Foundry has like a couple different ways you can do it.
How well does the Roll20 Discord collab work? I have never been able to try it out.
Yeah, I haven't tried that.
Haven't tried that out yet. So we do have we have that app added over into our Discord community though, for people who want to give it a shot. If you wanted to like get some people and go play in one of the gaming rooms, I mean, we allow that bot in there, or the API, whatever. I don't know, some shit like that. There you go. Now, so back over here. Unlike virtual tabletops such as Roll20, Albert Rodeo, or Foundry, Sigil offered a fully 3D environment with map building tools that would allow users to create and share interactive environments with their players. The first public playtest launched earlier this year and delivered a decidedly incomplete version of the promised dream of moving miniatures around a lushly decorated tavern while managing digital character sheets through a seamless integration with D&D Beyond. I already pulled up this article from Polygon. Yeah, because like I didn't see it. I have been so busy with other shit. Oh wait, this only came out a couple days ago. Yeah, guys, I basically have not been interested in what was going on with this VTT. I have ignored pretty much all the news. Whenever I heard that the layouts and stuff happened, I was like, oh shit, something's going down. How long is the article? How long is the article? I don't know that I want to go through the whole thing here. You expected to bring your tiny virtual paintbrushes, Sigil? Take a deep breath. This app isn't for you. Customization is worse for mini creation. Only 6 species of player characters, only 1 face for most of the species, and a surprising limit on custom colorization for the scant selections of weapons and armor. If you expected to bring your tiny virtual paintbrushes, Sigil, take a deep breath. This app isn't for you.
But so you can't bring in your own tokens from like Hero Forge or something, because I think don't they allow that in Tailspire? Because
well, so there was a Hero Forge integration at one point with Tailspire, but that got removed.
Did it?
And I don't know for sure why. Maybe someone in chat can let me know. But Tailspire used to have an integration with Hero Forge. Maybe I don't know like what. Wait, I have a contact with Hero Forge. I can just ask them. Where's that?
Because Hero Forge has the easiest, like, so nice, like, mini creation tool thing.
Yeah.
Like anything that's integrated. I don't really do the 3D. Like, it's just too much setup for me. I don't want to do the 3D stuff, but it's not for me. So I haven't looked into it.
Yeah, I was like, wait, I'm a fucking affiliate. I have someone I can talk to at Hero Forge. There we go.
Especially since half the games I run are like Theater of the Mind most of the time anyways. I don't need that stuff.
I was talking about Tailspire. Wait, is it Tailspire?
That's one of them, yeah, Tailspire. Yeah, Tailspire.
Is that still a feature? Thanks for your time. I don't know. We're just gonna see what that. That's me throwing a rod out there to see what I might be able to reel in. All right. So, for a game that's so much about customization, for you to only have 6 species of player characters, like, what about homebrew? Like, you know,
Well, I think the Hero Forge to Tailspire thing is still a thing because there's still the active website now to do it and stuff.
Say that one more time.
The Hero Forge to Tailspire, there's actually a heroforge.tailspire.com, and it's like the instructions and everything you need to do for linking it and stuff. So it might still be a thing.
Heroforge.tailspire. I see. Not working. Oh, okay. Hey. I mean, guys, this could have been a home run for Wizards of the Coast. This so easily could have been such a big home run. They already had this working in Tailspire. And like, if they would have just been like, hey, you know what, Hero Forge, you guys nailed it with the custom miniature thing. We can just integrate that directly over here. Yeah. It left beta.
That means Wizards has to play nice with someone else.
That's very true.
They want to make their own thing. They don't want to play with someone else.
I forget they're just like incapable of doing that. It alpha tested a yearish, it's beta tested a week. There's no shot the release was supposed to be the final build. It left beta after a week in February and development stopped in December. Here's the deal. Here's the deal though, okay? They took it to Gen Con last year. And, you know, paid to get a lot of the... yeah, here you go. The employee told Rascal that the atmosphere surrounding work on Sigil had felt off and increasingly strained since last year, following a somewhat disastrous tech demo as part of a Gen Con 2024 performance that featured Abira, Iyengar. Is it, wait, Abira? Abria? There we go.
Abria
Iyengar. I also just don't watch Critical Role. I don't know everybody's names, so like, yeah. Brennan Lee Mulligan, Anjali Vamani, and Baldur's Gate 3 actors Neil Newbin and Samantha Bart. That
one I don't know. I think it's Bert.
Hasbro president Chris Cox has become involved in the project for the first time soon after, and was reportedly not very supportive of continued development. Homeboy's carrying around that fucking sickle everywhere he goes, dude. Like,
yeah.
Dude, hey, Hasbro, fire this fuck. All right, you all have got to get rid of Chris Cox. This guy has ruined your brand. This guy is ruining Dungeons and Dragons as a brand. I'm not sure what all he's doing with Magic the Gathering either, but like, every single time we keep hearing about some scandal going on with Wizards of the Coast, it keeps coming back to this stupid fuck right here.
This is not the Cox that you want. There's probably other Cox out there you can go for, but these are not the Cox for you.
There's all kinds of tits. You know, all right, yeah, we got it. Magic is not doing well. You guys just had the motorcycle one, right? Like, you got the motorcycle expansion. You're getting SpongeBob in your game. What do you mean it's not doing well?
Just Fortnite now, essentially, with TLDR.
I mean,
I've
look,
heard of these like weird ass cross. Is there seriously going to be a SpongeBob? I stopped with the overpriced cardboard a long time ago.
Yeah, they did a secret layer with SpongeBob.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, I don't play Magic the Gathering. I watch some shit every once in a while. Whenever I see people freak the fuck out over pulling a Power 9, I'm always like, I'm happy for you. But I don't, you know, yeah. They're fun reactions, you know. Chris Cox is awful, but I say he made the right call in canning this. This is never going to justify the money they spent on it. Here's the deal. I agree with you. I do agree with you. And I still think that Chris Cox needs to go. Here's my thing. I don't think they ever should have started development on this. It wasn't necessary. It wasn't necessary. My main problem with Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro is that they seem to be allergic to industry cooperation, collaboration, whatever you want to say. They seem to be absolutely fucking allergic to maybe accepting help or I guess, I don't know, unless they think that it's going to be profitable for them, they don't just like fund into the community, right? I guess this is pretty public now. Okay, so I don't know if this has been announced publicly anywhere, but I can say I do know for a fact that Wizards of the Coast is working to bring D&D Beyond content and some independent class content over to D&D Beyond. I do know this for a fact. I've heard this now from 5 different people. So the thing is with this, though, they're wanting to bring over stuff that was very popular for 5th edition, and they are asking people to not just convert it over to D&D 2024, but they're asking them to convert it and also not do any boutique classes. Or bespoke classes, I guess is what we'll say. So it's like this. If, let's say that they were going to do this for me, okay? I mean, not expecting that. But if they were going to do that for me, what it would mean is, so I have 7 different classes for D&D, okay? Now, let's say that it was my Anthology of Heroes book. Well, they would be willing to take the subclasses that I made for the different official classes, but they would not be willing to take any of the 7 classes I made. So, if you were buying the book I put out as the Anthology of Heroes, it would basically be you were buying a version of it for D&D 2024 that wouldn't have the classes I wrote. Which is like, why? I don't get that. And if people are going to be like, well, programming it must be really hard. Fuck that. They did it for the Illrigger. They did it for the Blood Hunter. Guys, this is basic coding. Like, this is basic web design shit. D&D Beyond is not this incomprehensible platform to like integrate the text for a class. We just don't know why they're doing this.
It's no different than Alchemy or Foundry. They're all the same shit, different day. It's all just basically JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and then maybe some sort of like database in the background. Pick your poison, whichever one they use.
Yeah. But like, again, if like, I always hate kind of talking about this in a way that seems like I'm kind of coming down on basic employees here. But I will say that, like, if the employee is saying that, or your software, whatever, if your D&D Beyond development group is basically saying they can't implement a new class because it's too hard to write, maybe the people that are in that team aren't really the right people for that position. I don't see how this is that hard. They add new classes to the game. Don't know what the deal is with this. It's not that hard. It's a matter of that there are more classes for their game that people have made and people enjoy than classes that WotC has dropped for their game. Do you think, Mage, that it's an image thing? I have thought for a while that this has been a pride deal for Wizards of the Coast for a hot second. Like, they've been kind of consistently fumbling class design for a hot second. Would it... I don't know, because it seems like such an easy thing to knock out of the park. Like, hey, we want to do something cool. Hey, there's this guy over here, Ross Leiser, wrote this class called The Accursed. It's actually filling a gap that we haven't really had, like, anything quite fit in. And guess what else? Pretty good at covering the werewolf curse thing that we actually left a bit too open to interpretation, but there we go. It's pride, but also not wanting to show how much is out for the people that don't stay too far from the official content. Man, because like they could still make money off of it though. It's already written content. They can fucking be like, put it on our website now. All right, cool. We want to take like 40% of that. I guarantee. Okay, if Wizards of the Coast offered me like, hey, you sell your stuff on D&D Beyond, we will give you 30% of sales. I'm still looking at that going like, fuck yeah, dude. That's huge marketing. That is the best in the business. I would take an unhealthy royalty cut in order just to get my shit on D&D Beyond. That's fucking crazy. Because I would make
Here's
that.
The thing, it's not the writers doing this. It's the higher ups going, our image is already so bad. How would it look if we bring these people in and be like, oh, their shit's better than our shit, and that just makes it look even more bad. It's the higher up people not realizing, like, they don't have the boots on the ground themselves. They don't understand what the people actually want because they're a little out of touch.
Yeah, I mean, well, like they did bring on Free League for that Lord of the Rings 5e thing. Here's my deal. I went through that book and I was like, this shit's perfect. I wasn't really in a huge like push to go and play 5th edition anytime soon, but like whenever I saw this, I mean, I read through my copy of that, I was like, holy shit, wait, they kind of nailed this. Like, I mean, they nailed the low magic vibe in 5th edition. Sick. But I mean, then again, it's Free League, and I mean, yeah, Free League knocks everything out of the park. Like,
yeah.
Plus, they're just super fucking cool people who are into this hobby for like the hobby getting better and the hobby being cool and fun. Guys, instead of giving like Wizards of the Coast your money every like 2 weeks or something for, or I guess every month for D&D Beyond, go give it to Free League. Go pick up one of their games. Vaesen's really cool if you want to see what Year Zero Engine is about. But yeah. Sigil's sudden death was more of a murder, according to the employee. They describe a company-wide lack of coordination during their tenure, where they never interacted with the book publishing team and only stumbled into the already existing Maps VTT by accidentally signing up for an internal playtest, believing it was Sigil instead. In fact, the employee claims WotC engineers would constantly clash with D&D Beyond staff over access to the latter's fiercely protected internal data.
Oh, Jesus.
Sigil's original vision was to eventually move beyond D&D to encompass My Little Pony, Transformers, and the rest of Hasbro's vaunted license portfolio. Over time, the team narrowed the scope to creating a D&D application for PC and mobile devices that integrated D&D Beyond data and usability. The team apparently always felt as though they performed miracles with a limited set of tools, constantly moving goalposts, and a distinct lack of interest from Hasbro management until the end. Project development apparently suffered from a lack of corporate leadership through its lifetime, first from Wizards of the Coast's inexperience as a game studio. Is this just a link to Dark Alliance? D&D can't properly market Project Sigil's not quite video game features. And later, from a distinct lack of interest in what Cow and his team were creating. The employee ascribed this disconnect to the company's outdated standards and a bureaucratic morass. Morass? What is that word? Chat, what does that mean? Morass?
I didn't even see where you're reading. Where are you reading right now?
Bureaucratic morass? Morass?
Morass.
Miasma
like,
tangle.
It's unclear, I think it means.
Well, I've learned a new word today. Everyone waits.
Confusing, I think. I have to look it up.
Is it morass? Like we walked through the morass?
I thought it was morass. I think
morass.
An like area of muddy or boggy ground or a complicated or confused situation. Okay, so it's about what I thought it was.
Okay. Huh. Everyone waits through to complete.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, if we want to keep talking about more ass, I'm totally happy. You know.
Well, I just don't use a large word where a diminutive one suffices.
Everyone waits here to complete work or communicate with other teams. The employee believes that Hasbro treated Sigil like a video game instead of a VTT, and at no point cared to understand the difference. While, goddamn. While public perception focused on monetization from the jump, the company apparently expected Sigil to create revenue in a similar fashion to Magic the Gathering or Baldur's Gate 3 simply by existing. You dumb fucks. Oh my god. When that proved to be not the case, the employees at Hasbro pushed Sigil out of the nest and were uninterested if it managed to fly before crashing to Earth. Holy fucking shit. Alta Fox. Who the fuck? Okay, to every investor that's out there, I'll just let you all know, pull... Oh, no, wait, this is not financial advice. Fuck. You, look. Stockholders, shareholders, look, if you are holding anything in Hasbro right now,
please,
I hope you're watching community reactions to the constant bullshit they keep announcing. Sigil is going to be the next Magic the Gathering arena.
They wanted to be like EA and Ubisoft and just have all these cosmetic sales and they're like, oh, I'll think of all the money we'll make without actually getting like something people actually wanted to use it for.
Yeah, but isn't Ubisoft going under?
Probably.
Like, that's the thing, is I think that this model
EA's
is like...
actually,
is EA going under?
Struggling as... I don't know, but going under, but they're struggling hard as far as I know.
Like, I think, like, in the last 10 years, the whole, like, vibe around microtransactions has basically kind of been, it's ick. Like, people don't seem to like it. So,
no.
I think that this is still a dream of the 50 to 60 something C-suites who are like, remember how that worked out really good for Riot Games and they were like able to continue making money off of a game that basically they had already made millions off of in the first year? Let's do that exact copy. And it's like, it's not working for other people. Like, I don't know, maybe is it working for, like, I don't think that this shit's gonna work for D&D. It might work for like some gooner anime bullshit, but like I don't think it's gonna work for D&D. You want to dress up your like anime cutie or whatever? I think you're probably gonna get money if you have a game like that, right? What's that, like Grand Blue Fantasy or some shit? Like maybe that's the case where like you're gonna make your cash back that way, right? I don't think people gave too much of a fuck about it like this. You could have maybe had a model where it was like, here's your D&D character. All right, sick. Here's the t-shirt that they can wear. Okay, if you want to buy armor, it's $2 D&D dollars. Oh, okay. Well, how much is a D&D dollar? It's $5.99. Oh, okay. Well, there's $12 I just paid to get $2 D&D dollars to get a t-shirt. Oh, well, that sale's actually over now. It's now $5 D&D dollars. I like. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I think that so many C-suites have this idea that microtransactions are like, this is the way that we can just easily make money for the company. So therein we have to put it into everything. And I don't think that they really consider how the community would, whether or not not just whether or not the community would or would not like microtransactions, but how they could sell the community on microtransactions. I don't think it's impossible for you to do microtransactions for a VTT like this. We would just have to figure out what the fuck those microtransactions would be for, and your VTT needs to be complete. Like, it would need to be done. It sounds like right now, this shit's just not finished. Like, and it sounds like they're sick of losing, or they're sick of spending money on it, so they're gonna like let it go with a flaccid launch.
Yeah.
It's not hitting the metrics they're projecting to their shareholders, and the company is suffering from it with dwindling cash flow and looming debt calls. Buy the DMG book for $60. Buy the PDF for D&D Beyond for $45 on sale. Buy all the items in the DM's Sigil for 4 payments of $150. Yeah, like, you could sell monsters. Sell a big pack, right? But, like, maybe it's, like, what you need. Okay, well, here's, like, the Kobold pack. Okay, cool. Well, like, here's the Kobold, but, like, he's actually really angry at this guy over here. He's pointing and he's, I don't know, choking a chicken. All right? Not like that. I meant an actual chicken.
That was a poor choice.
Look, you know that would be the most popular mini on their fucking site.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But, like, even with, like, the monster minis, like, drop some that are, like, that's the microtransaction thing you do, okay? Like, if that's going to be your thing, you're really just, you're making a cosmetic, really, that is no different than making a mini. And plenty of companies do this. You know, you guys would be doing it for the first time. I just don't think that they understand how the fuck to do this. Or
here's the thing, it's not going to work as well as because a video game, you have a preset world, they've done the game for you, you're just adding on to it. The problem with RPGs is we're making the world every time we play it, so it's that much more work. It's like they didn't realize that was going to be an issue.
You know how they could have done that microtransaction thing without pissing everybody off? I'll tell you right now. Do I throw them the freebie here? Because we recommended this at one point during the Influencer Summit, and they didn't seem to bite. Okay.
They're not going to listen to you. Just say it. They're not going to listen to you.
You know. Hey, Watsy, here's what you would do, okay? You open up your marketplace for all third-party developers to add stuff onto it, okay? Sure, you need to curate it. Yeah, no shit, you need to curate it, okay? You open it up to where third-party creators can add their stuff on there, with the caveat that you all are still owed a royalty of 20%. Okay, what you still make for it over on DriveThruRPG. Now, you're going to get a lot of creators that want to come over and add that shit because now they're no longer paying the 50% or the 30% required for DriveThruRPG sales. Okay, you are getting 20% of all sales for a marketplace that more people would want to come to, and you cut a you cut a middleman out. Okay, Roll20 would not like this. I like the Roll20 peeps, but like, you guys refusing to work with the community, you are literally punching yourselves in the dick. Like, you are. This is such an easy win. Like, you guys,
be a flood of things. The creators are out there. I mean, like, Turbo Squid exists.
Yeah, and it opens up a whole different thing. The minis that you're going to have for the VTT. Oh, people can now just submit STLs to use with your guys. You Wizards. This shows how out of touch with the community you guys kind of are, because you guys didn't think of this. Why would people not be able to make their own STL and upload it over here into Sigil and use it as a monster on the board? You guys could have done so much cool shit with this, and you just didn't. And like, it's not, I don't even think that it's necessarily on the developers. If I think of this right here, surely the people that it was their day job thought about doing stuff like this and were told not to. Like, yeah, basically turning D&D Beyond into Steam. I mean, kind of. I mean, it's more so into like the DM's Guild. 20% is already their cut in the DM's Guild. Wait, sorry, one sec.
A lot of. Oh yeah.
20% is already their cut in the DM's Guild, with the other 30% going to one bookshelf, right? Or is that the other way around? Yes, you have it correct. Wizards of the Coast gets 20% of everything on the DM's Guild. One bookshelf gets the other 30%. If you were just to sell it through D&D Beyond, right, then let's even say this. They still say, we are going to take 30%. I'm still taking that deal, and they're making more money off of it being on their storefront than they are over on the DM's Guild. It's insane that they never thought of doing this. But what were you saying, Ked?
Oh, I was going to comment on the Steam thing, because like a lot of people, yes, okay, we look at Steam and we do criticize a lot because they're basically a monopoly. They're basically the one that popularized like not owning your content. You're just kind of like renting it from them and stuff like that. But on the same note, like Steam has done everything right.
Yeah,
they have great customer service. You can return stuff like no problem. Like they make there's a reason they're a monopoly. Like they made all the right choices that all the other platforms haven't. If someone just copied that for something like this, it'd be a big deal.
Yeah. People would just drop over to MZ4250 and download every mini ever for free. If they let people upload STLs, people would just pop over to MZ4250 and download every mini ever for free. Okay, so you can put a cap on this. Like, we say, like, okay, well, if you want, you have this many slots to upload, like, a custom miniature. And that's what you can do. That's not how many times you can use it, it's just how many upload slots you have. If you want to bring on another one, you got to delete one of your others. I think that would at least slow the pacing
how this
down.
Works. Like, I don't know if you know it or not. How much of this is hosted by a person on their computer, and how much of this is hosted on the servers?
Dude, that's the thing that I was like baffled by. I was like, well, is it rendered and then sending a video feed out to all the other computers, or is like is every computer trying to render the scene? You know what I mean? Like for that person.
Yeah. I'm assuming it's like positional data and stuff like that. Like they don't have to render, like one machine doesn't have to render the graphics for all of them. But like, who's doing the rendering? Is it the host? Do they have servers storing and sending some of the positional data out? Like, I don't know how much of the server load they're running here, and that's gonna be a big deal for them.
Yeah. Katie, is that giving them ideas? No, here's the fun thing. I can throw them out these kinds of ideas like this. I mean, like, guys, I've already made these recommendations and straight up told Wizards of the Coast these recommendations in direct communication with them. I've already told them this shit. Like, whenever I went to the Influencer Summit, these were suggestions we were already fucking giving them. They don't fucking listen. Like, if we tell them, like, hey, we want a thing, and they're like, oh, well, not enough people bitched at us on Twitter in order to get it, then, like, I don't know, dude. I don't, like, yeah. It's like, a lot of us really tried in that summit. We were more so concerned about the OGL situation than we were about any shit that was going on with the VTT. In fact, we cut the VTT conversation short to talk about the OGL situation. Whenever it came to us finding out any info on the VTT, dude, the entire room was fucking... Nobody gave a shit. Nobody fucking cared. We were more invested in trying to figure out how everybody's revenue was going to get protected. How to make sure that, like, the creative spirit of the hobby was still, like, a thing for 5e. Once it became kind of clear that, like, oh, okay, well, this is what we're discussing or whatever... Once we got past the OGL conversation, they moved us directly over into, talking about weapon masteries for the first time. Wait, I'm pretty sure that was the first time that they had announced that publicly, but yeah. So, you know, we didn't really know at that time. It just seemed like this is the thing that's in development now. And everyone was like, okay, can you tell us what the system specs we're going to need on it are? Nope. Okay. Well, then we want to know why the fuck Kyle Brinks, you know, like, we want to know who said that shit about day one and so did we. Okay. Yeah, and it was funny whenever people were asking questions like that, like, hey, who said they won and so did we? And they were just like sitting there with a microphone, like looking around like, all right, do we have another question? Dude, people were so fucking mad.
Oh, yeah.
Rightfully so. I mean, hey, I was sitting there just like, hey, you're the motherfuckers who threw me under the bus to comicbook.com. Like, let me hear some shit. Oh, my God. They won and so did we was the moment for you. That is one of the greatest fucking lines in just, that is so close to like, let them eat cake. God damn, it's so funny.
Or don't you have phones?
Don't you have phones? It's gotta be, I mean, let them eat cake is like the premier ignorance of the rich, like famous last words before we just fucking take you to the guillotine kind of shit. I think, I mean, of course, for its fame, don't you guys have phones is still way up there, but goddamn, they won and so did we is so good. Oh, god damn it, it's funny. A sense of pride and accomplishment, yeah. The employee described the meeting only a month ago where Collins asked leadership about their vision of Sigil moving forward. Nobody was able to provide a clear answer. Guys, this is fucking dead. Judging on the size of the team and rough salaries of the employees, it estimated that Hasbro invested between 20 and 30 million in the Sigil so far. Now, 3 remaining engineers will work with apparently a much more imitable D&D Beyond team to wield the once celebrated jewel in D&D's digital crown into the background of an existing and already popular VTT. Wow. We will update this piece with any information. Okay, clarify that WotC's president was not at the present at the firing of Sigil's team. Damn.
Wow.
Well. So it's dead.
Yeah. And because think if they launch it and they're still trying to push it, like they still have server costs, maintenance costs, like even if they fired everybody and they tried to keep it around, it's still going to cost them money. I don't think they're making it back. But
20 to 30 million dollars. How many concurrent users are on D&D Beyond? Like, don't we have these numbers?
I don't know. They're not very clear cut about that.
Yeah, let me see here. Concurrent D&D Beyond subscriptions. They truly don't know what to do with D&D while not giving it free reign to the people to know what to actually do with it. That, like, here's my thing. I think that Hasbro could unfuck this. I think they could, and they could still basically keep themselves up ahead. They can do a lot of brand healing and good faith building here in the next year that will basically require fucking nothing from them. Okay? My number one suggestion would be release anything that was made by TSR that you all currently hold the rights to into the public domain. Anything. Release all of that into the public domain. All the old adventures, you guys want to do your own thing on it for 5th edition? Okay, that's fine. You're not releasing... They'll never do that? I know. I'm just saying.
No.
I'm just saying. I know that... Okay. They'll never do it? I know. I'm just saying. If they wanted to build up good faith, here's what they would do. If they did open up their marketplace, sick. The other really cool thing that they could do here is release that 20% royalty on the DM's Guild and reduce that down to like 10%. There are, or 0, because there are a ton of people who are very hesitant to purchase anything from third-party creators over on the DM's Guild because you all take a 20% cut. If you basically want to do some really cool shit and be like, hey, you know what? We hurt the community, and it really sucks that we hurt some of the people who are the most dedicated to this game and spent their own time helping us out and making cool content for our game. As a result, we are releasing our royalty moving forward on the DM's Guild. You make stuff over there. Yeah. Drive-through RPG is still going to take their cut. We're not taking our 20% anymore. You guys get it. Fucking, you know how many people that were so burned by the OGL they stopped making shit for D&D would come back immediately over that? You guys, there's that. The cut sticks. The bigger issue is DM's Guild is the sheer amount of chef you have to wade through to find people's stuff. Yes. This is the other portion of that. This would require Roll20 if they were actually interested in making the DM's Guild better. Which I think they are, by the way. I think they are. Talking with people like Jack and Meredith at Roll20, I think they're all great peeps. I think that everyone at Roll20 seems to be a fantastic individual, all that stuff. But I will say, D&D Beyond feels neglected as the result of, I think, just maybe visions not aligning with Wizards of the Coast, you know. I get people don't like Drive-Thru-RPG, but there's no contract on Drive-Thru-RPG like there is for DM's Guild, and no exclusivity either. Yeah, no, for sure. Hang on.
Oh, sort of. It's like a 3-month thing to be not exclusive, which is a really weird setup.
If you are exclusive, it's a 30% royalty cut that they take, and if you aren't exclusive, it's a 35%. But still, I still think that it's kind of worth it just to get something in front of people. I mean, Free League still sells their stuff over on Drive-Thru-RPG. And their own website.
All the major companies do.
Yeah. Yeah, you've been clickbaited? What happened? Dude, WotC's VTT is fucking dead. It's super dead. Yeah. It might live on as a function over on, like, D&D Beyond, but, like, dude, it is not going to be the thing that they had originally kind of, like, projected to everybody. In fact, I would go so far as to say that it is a noticeably worse experience based off of the reviews and everything we've been hearing. Roll20 takes 30% for their site. Yeah, I mean, yes, I get that. Yeah, I'm actually fine with that. They're advertising it for me. Dude, it being up on Drive-Thru-RPG is free marketing for you. Unironically. Like, it's good. Did I try Sigil? No, I'm not interested in it. I'm not particularly interested in the 3D VTT. It's just... I feel like it's trying to sell you on an experience that this game just is not. I don't think that it's great, or how do I put it? Tailspire already exists, and it runs okay. I don't think that this ever really had the legs because of what would be required to make it. I don't think that a 2-year development time is enough time to have ever gotten this VTT out the door. I never really trusted it. And the fact that it was this walled garden where they were only going to work with certain creators just felt like this is a complete antithesis of what it means to be, I don't know, what it means for this creative hobby. Uploading backers from Kickstarter to drop your stuff to them. Wait, what? Everyone still has their own storefront to get the same thing, but customers also have their catalogs on one bookshelf, and one bookshelf have an almost seamless integration for uploading backers from Kickstarter to drop your stuff to them. Yeah, that too. Yeah, they do make it very easy to fulfill. As well as, like, I mean, print on demand. Like, if you don't want to go through a printer like what I'm doing for offset printing, if you don't mind doing print on demand for your thing, Drive-Thru-RPG is still really good at fulfilling that. It might not be the prettiest book in the world because the ink is still kind of odd with them, and they don't do duplex printing, which, like...
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Lightning Source, but even though I don't really like Lightning Source, I'm still going to do a print on demand for some of my stuff through them because it's so easy and it's so convenient for everybody.
Yep. And they fulfill worldwide. Like, no fucking problem. Yeah. Do Zine
now
Quest,
I'm also doing print on demand through KDP, but like you can spread out.
Yeah. Do fulfillment through Drive-Thru-RPG for physical and digital profit. Yeah, the thing for me is I wanted to do offset because it was cheaper for the run. And I could have inventory on stock to sell through my own like store and everything. I feel like that would be kind of cool. But I do think that the age of like, you know, 2019, 2020, where people were just buying a shitload of stuff, anything TTRPG, throw money at it, throw money at it, throw money at it. I do kind of wonder if we're not just past that golden age, but I don't know, man. I don't know if people are going to be spending more on TTRPG in the next like 5 years even. Look at prices, that's why it's going away. Inflation. Well, yeah, that's what I'm thinking, right? Like, there's a lot of different things that I think go into it. Just like at Shadowdark, I still like. By the way, great quality game, right? Wait, $60 for just digital?
Is it?
Is it?
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a spoiled boy. I got mine for free.
I have the hardcover book is $60 with the PDF. That's book and PDF. No, the PDF is $30. Yeah, here.
Oh, it's more than fair.
Yeah, PDF is $30. Oh, for the current Kickstarter? Well, because it's like 2 books. I mean, and it's all of the curse scrolls, the zines that are coming out for it. Let me double check. Because I mean, it's available over there on the website for. Yeah. Reward tier. Yeah, I got the slipcase. I'm like,
there is a PDF thing for $60, but you get like all of the everything. Like,
yeah,
it's not just like one book.
It's Western Reaches core and accessories, so you're getting all the curse scrolls that come with it too, as well as the PDF for the GM screen, which is funny because she's letting you just go and print it out. And the one-shot adventures and the 2 books for $60. Dude, that's insane value. Like, I mean, I'm not necessarily like PDF only or anything quite like that. But if I was, that feels pretty big. A lot of TTRPG Patreons have a sustained monthly growth. Last year, the last year might be some of this money is going. Well, there was also the economic instability of this last election cycle, which won't get into that, but just saying, that's what most people are probably looking at, being a bit careful about on expenses right now, you know. Patreon worries you as a platform? Any particular reason why? I mean, like, it's been good to me. I don't know. I mean, the GM screen is a throwaway. Not saying it's not, but the base entry point for their project is $60, and that's all digital. The baseline for physical has been across the board in TTRPGs has been rising. Man, I just kind of disagree because it's not like the one book, right? It's like that's for a collection. Now, getting into it, I think that you can just do the like, I'm gonna get in for $1 to support it and do the add-on of like the book for book or whatever. And like, if it's the case that it feels like that's too expensive, I would just wait until they go on sale in her shop later. Like,
yeah. Like, either way, like you guys got to remember, this is just like an indie dev. Like, it's not like a production company doing this. Like, it's more expensive to be smaller sometimes. Yeah. You got a lot of overhead that you got to deal with.
Yeah. And I mean, and this also all comes with like the asterisk of like, hey, I'm working for Kelsey now, so like I take that into, but like just genuinely, like, that's my opinion of it. I mean, it's always going to have to come with that asterisk now of like, well, I'm working on writing their soundtrack, but if I felt like it was a bad deal, I would say it was a bad deal. I've burned bridges before.
Yeah.
Patreon's got to find a way to grow its revenues, faster to pay its debts, whether it needs to get more people paying in, find other revenue sources, or squeeze a bigger cut out of creators. Patreon seems to be doing pretty fucking well right now, I thought. Like, so well, they opened it up to, like, free followers and shit. Stream is still going nice. Yeah, we're probably gonna wrap it up soon-ish. Cause I mean, really, my take on this right now is just like, what? It's just fucking dead, right? Like, it's wild. I really feel bad for those 30 people that were let go from this. And
it's not like they're all new people. I mean, that one guy's been there since 1995.
Yeah, I really think it's about time that they finally kick Chris Cox out.
Who dat?
Like, maybe the guy is just like this crazy, incredible crazy, incredible CEO in other territories, and I don't know shit, whatever. But like, this guy is at the center of literally every single scandal that's going on with their company. Like, yeah. Oh, by the way, we got this from Rascal. Go and show them some love. Rascal is an independent, like, TTRPG journalism, like, outlet. So go check them out. Thank you so much to, I think it was Chase that wrote this one, right? Yeah, Chase Carter. Thank you so much to Chase for actually putting this one together. And holy shit. The previous CEO barely lasted any time. I wonder how long he'll last. What, Chris Cox? Man, this kind of feels like, I mean, what, like, shareholders, how do you can just oust somebody at some point, right? Like, the shareholders can do a vote of no confidence and oust him, I think. Yesn't? He'll last until the wheels fall off.
I think they have. They are.
But I feel very, very bad for the people that were affected by this. That sucks. That very, very much sucks. Cynthia Williams was there for 2 years only before he came in. Oh yeah. Wait, no. Was she the CEO? I thought she was the president of. Am I misremembering that? Was she the CEO?
She was president of Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah, so CEO of WotC?
Former president and CEO and COO.
Oh. President of Wizards of the Coast. Okay.
She had replaced Chris Cox.
Oh, okay, so he's CEO of Hasbro. She was CEO of Wizards of the Coast. Yeah. Right. Okay, who's in her position now? Or her old position? Wait, so she was CEO and COO? Damn.
I mean, this on a quick Google search. Take it the bucket of salt.
John Haidt? Oh, the Blizzard dude. I remember this. That's right. Huh. Well, boy, I think. Wait, you think that Magic the Gathering prints too well for Cox to take a hit? I'm gonna say, canceling a project like this, I don't really think it matters, like, how decent something like Magic the Gathering is doing. This is still like around 500 mil that you just pissed away. Like, they're turning a $500 million development into a side feature exclusive to their highest paying members on D&D Beyond. Right? Wait, a Master Tier subscription, how much is that? It's basically dead. This is dead. Okay, $5 a month gets you into sigils. Oh yeah, they're already advertising it. Host games with maps and Sigil VTTs. Unlock additional Sigil VTT features. So they're advertising that you get 2 of the VTTs to run. What the fuck? They're already advertising Sigil over here with the master tier. So I don't know, maybe that was already a thing. I haven't been subscribed on D&D Beyond for like nearly a year, I think now. Velocity closed like what, 5 game studios in 2024 too. What are they even doing? I think this is a part of the reason why I think that D&D Beyond should somewhat be entered into the public domain. I think we're no, I think that's incorrect. I think that D&D Beyond should be at least somewhat entered into the public domain insofar as I think Basic Expert, I think it's about time for Basic Expert and basically all of the TSR published modules to be entered into the public domain. Don't do any of the stuff that Wizards of the Coast released yet, okay? That's their thing, okay? Yeah. Y'all didn't write the TSR modules. Enter that into the public domain. Like, this stuff was written. I mean, Lord Schick is still alive. He actually just helped on Baldur's Gate, which crazy. Like, enter that stuff into the public domain to where other people can use it in other systems as well. I would already think that that's such a huge service you could do to the entire community. They've got to work on building up some good faith, because sure as shit, their product line is not keeping people interested enough to keep D&D successful. They've got to earn some good faith here, and I think the best ways that they can probably do that are to start giving back to the community, because they've been doing a lot of taking for the last 10 years, and they haven't really been doing much of fucking dog shit for giving. I think that would be
do what
big.
the big box stores do with loss leaders. You know, there's always those products that like they lose on, knowing that it'll draw people in to buy the other shit.
Yeah. I mean,
they need to do more of that.
Yeah, I was trying to think of what was free. Did they? It was funny. They had Lost Mines of Phandelver as like a thing you could just get for free on D&D Beyond. Have they pulled that? Because you can't even buy it now.
Really?
Like, they stopped making Lost Mines of Phandelver.
Oh, was it because it wasn't updated for 2024?
It was not. They stopped making that starter kit.
Oh.
Yeah. Let me see here. D&D starter kit. They pulled it because of Phandelver and Below, and they stopped printing the new boxes too. That was the thing, is I think that they stopped printing the new boxes. If they put it in Lost Mines of Phandelver, but they still pulled the starter kit, I still think that's a bad move. But I will also say I didn't like the way that the starter kit printed those books. Make Strahd free, line will go up. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I didn't like the glossy paper that they printed those books on, because like I can't highlight. And yes, I'm a freak. I highlight stuff in my books. People are gonna have to deal with that. Okay, well, that was about all I really had planned. I just wanted to kind of see what the hell all was going on. So there's 62 of you all in here. I'm gonna have to do this. You all need to go over and check out my Kickstarter for Vagabond, because we are... Oh, where are we at right now? Hey, we need just over $2,250 in order for us to basically say, fuck the tariffs, we got this shit. And we're trying to get an order of about 1,000 books in, not just.
Been waiting for your take on this. You earned a lot of respect from me during the OGL stuff.
Thank you, Ian Sharp. Thank you for the super chat too, man. Highlighted edition of Vagabond win. Yeah, I'll just ship everything out after I've like scribbled everything in yellow. Go check out the Kickstarter. We're just trying to make it through tariffs and all this other bullshit. And I know that the book is gonna look pretty fucking cool. You can also go check out the quick start for yourself right now, absolutely free, to see this thing that I made. And speaking of game design and all that stuff, Ked, shout yourself out and talk about Void Home for a second.
Oh yeah, because I'm getting real close on starting launch some final stuff for that. I mean, just go check out my YouTube, I guess, just QEDHUP Ked Hup. I've got some videos I've been launching recently and why it's worth playing, what I'm doing with it, and I live stream the development of it quite often right now on YouTube, Twitch, and Moonbeam, which was just launched the other day.
Oh, are you streaming on Moonbeam now?
Yeah.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, it was launched less than 2 days ago, I think, for public for anyone to try it. I've been trying it. We'll see if it's a flash in the pan or if it actually goes somewhere. I mean, I'm hesitantly positive about it.
Were there actual viewers
but it's got
over
some
there?
neat features. Well, yeah, because the way it works is you stream. You don't just stream on your own channel. You join groups to stream from. So when I stream, I'm streaming on Monty Cook Games channel, the Anywhere Door. So anyone that's signed up for the Monty Cook Games stuff is then seeing my stream. So it's
interesting.
But they have to allow it, of course. Like I was one of the 3 people they whitelisted off the bat, and they're slowly building that up. But yeah, it's like, what if you mixed Discord and Twitch together? Is kind of what it is. It's kind of neat.
Yeah. Although I can see that getting very gate kept. Oh god, if you're streaming with a company and they just don't like you, I guess that's the only thing I got to worry about with Wizards of the Coast. But you know,
yeah, check out Void Home's getting real close. I'm just it's taking a little bit longer because I had a bit of a snafu with paying who I thought was a reliable editor that was recommended to me by several other people, who then had a medical issue in the US and took everyone's money and disappeared from the industry. So unfortunately, I've had to look for elsewhere for editing. So it's taking me a bit longer.
Oh, damn.
But check it out.
Well, everybody, hey, thank you all so much for coming in and doing all this shit. Wow. What are we signing this off with? Fucking, I don't know. Chris Cox, eat a dick. Cut your own pay so that you can actually pay employees and quit firing them. I don't know, you seem to be addicted to just letting people go like this for no fucking reason. Yeah, I don't know, man. Seems like a guy that is not quite poggers. Anyways, everybody, have a good night, and Viva la Foundry Roll20 and everything that's not Sigil, right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, D&D is dead. Long live D&D. There you go.
You don't need a VTT. You need a napkin and a pencil.
Yeah. Have a good night, everyone. I will chat with you all later.